everybody, so we're back on more Warframe today. It is currently -3 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so that's fun. Hopefully anyone else that's been dealing with the cold weather and the winter storm has been doing well. It's pretty much stopped snowing for me, but there's still a lot of snow outside, which I'm a fan of snow, so I don't mind it. And also, I'd rather be too cold than too hot. I'm tired of being hot, especially in my room with my PC. So anyway, the mastery grind, it is something that I have been working on slowly. I initially planned to get it done before the beginning of 2026, but then I kind of realized, okay, that's a lot more work to do than I realized. What do I need for this? Tox, biotics, and bile. Okay, well, I guess we can just do that. That works. Biotics, we'll just do that, and then bile is easy. I still need more bile. Okay, we'll just do some more of those. They're very disposable. And then I just have to subsume Uriel and Gara, and then helmet is all done. So I am currently MR29, and just showing my profile really quick. We're almost to MR30, and then we're getting onto the LR ranks. It's decent progress. There's still definitely plenty of easy stuff to do. Looking at my foundry, I have completed all of the invasion material weapons. That's stuff like mutagen mass, detonite injectors, and field drawn. So those are all done. They're all built. I'm just stockpiling stuff in here to eventually level. Got Necros Prime building. I'm just missing two things from this Prime Resurgence, I believe. It's Galatine Prime Blueprint. And what's the other thing? Cernos Prime, some part for, what is it? It's a rare part. Yeah, the Prime lower limb. So once I get those, I am all done. Guess I'll just continue doing Neo. I might be out of Void Traces, so let's see. But yeah, this MR grind is definitely a lot of work. There's plenty of simple stuff that you can do. Like, I think it's pretty easy to get to LR1, at least, maybe LR2. Kind of just depends on how the math works out. But there are some parts that are longer than others for the grind. Like adversaries, they take a while. They're probably what I'm going to do last, at least when it comes to getting each weapon to level 40, because really that's the longest part of each adversary weapon. You have to format each weapon 5 times, and really the worst part about that is, well, requiring 5 forma. And I think there's roughly 40-ish adversary weapons, so you're looking at over 200 forma needed, and forma does not exactly just grow on trees. You can build 1 per day, or you can buy it with platinum. Really, I wish that I grinded a lot more during that. I think it's called Operation Plague Star. Really, I need that to come around again so I can work on getting more formas. I did not get as many as I should have during that event. I think I got about 50, if even, but that's not exactly the most exciting event to grind either. And then there are some base frames that I believe are a pain to get to. Like, I know Citrine's a pain. I know I got Caliban and what was his name? Styanax for free when, like, those were the login rewards when they first came out, so that was easy. There are some weapons here and there that are pretty hard to get. Like, I know the Lotto Vandal and Bratton Vandal weapons are hard to get. Somehow I already got Bratton Vandal. I still need to get Lotto Vandal. I'm just missing the barrel for Lotto Vandal. I made a whole video talking about that already. Okay, well, that's all my Void Traces, and I do not have a resource booster right now, so I guess I'll do something else maybe. Is there any good ones up right now? I don't really feel like doing much else except for relics at the moment, so I guess I'll just run this Neo Capture one. Why not? Get some rads out of the way. And then some other weapons that are a pain to get is, I know war can be an issue for some people. I mean, that's kind of just RNG in a nutshell. RNG can absolutely screw you during this grind. Like, I know it's not a weapon, but it took me about 7 hours to get the mod Rhyme rounds, and what you needed to do for that is to do a spy mission over and over. That was not exactly the worst thing ever to do, because a spy mission, you know, I could get it done in 2 minutes or less, 1 to 2 minutes on average. I just brought a Volt and just speed ran it, but it was still a pain doing that for about 7 hours for a mod that's pretty important to have. And then some weapons and gear, you had to be rank 5 with the Copper Syndicate, which, I mean, it's important to get each syndicate to rank 5 anyway. I'm talking about like Entrati and Solaris United, that stuff, because you get some good stuff from there, such as the arc gun deployer. So really, there's just a lot to do, and it's quite an adventure. At least it's got some good variety at least to it. You're not exactly doing the same thing over and over again. Now, the prime weapon and frame grind can definitely be a little bit repetitive, as you're just cracking open relics over and over and over and over and then over again. So looking at a list of every single item in the game, there are 113 Warframes, which is not too bad to get most of them. What is it? There's like 40 prime frames and about 60 to 70 non-primes, I think. I'd have to look at that again. There is obviously the exclusive, that is Excalibur Prime. Looking at primaries, there are 188. Can't say I'm too surprised by that. There definitely are a lot. And I keep getting this bonus whenever I crack open a relic. I mean, I like it on Wisp. It's very good, very fun. Double strength, no complaint about that. Just go zoom assuming. Then secondaries are 146. Kind of makes sense. I feel like most games typically have less secondaries than there are primaries. And then melee wise, this one kind of surprised me. There are 230 melees, and that does include Zals, but there aren't that many Zals, I don't think. It's crazy. There are 230 melees, and yet every single one of them uses melee influence. And then going on, we got kick guns. There are a whole 6 of them. I feel like DE kind of just abandoned them. I would like to see them revisited, you know, at least add 1 or 2 here and there. I feel like people used to go crazy over kick guns, especially catch moon ones, but it seems like I have not really heard anyone talk about kick guns in a long while. Then you've got normal missions, and there are 254 of them. On the contrary, there are 254 steel path missions, so that's some pretty easy mastery rank to get. Take a little bit of time, but that's alright. I still need to finish my steel path ones, I just haven't because I'm going all over the place getting other stuff. And there are railjack intrinsics. I think I'm pretty close to getting that done. Maybe just like 1 or 2 more points left. Drifter intrinsics, I also think I have that done, or at least close to done. Not 100% sure on that. I'd have to go back to Deviri. Then continuing on, there are 17 sentinels. I was gonna say I'm kind of surprised by that, but then I think about it, it's like, no, there are special variants of sentinels. Like there's a few prime ones. There's a Prisma 1 or 2. Like I know there's a Prisma Shade. I don't know if there's more than that. And then there are 24 sentinel weapons, which makes sense. Each sentinel has its own weapon, and then there's also the weapons that you can get from legs. So a few more to craft separately, and also 3 of them are hound weapons. And going on, we've got 25 companions in total. Now that's what I really need to work on. I'm probably going to do that last. I want to go ahead and obtain all the weapons and frames. I think I already collected all the base frames. I just need a few more prime frames. Like I know I'm missing Atlas Prime. I don't know if I'm missing any other prime frames besides him. Oh, Nyx Prime. That's right. That might be it. Oh, just gotta wait for them to either come out in a prime resurgence or trade for them, but I'd like to try to actually earn them, you know, farm for them, because it's like, yeah, I could easily just trade for most of the stuff, but I rather try to earn it legitimately. And of the companions, there are 6 crew bros, 5 Kavats, 3 Parasites, 3 Vulpepulas. There are 4 Moas, 3 Hounds, 1 Plexus. And then scrolling down a little bit more, there are 5 Arc Wings, 20 Arc Guns, 8 Arc Melees, 9 Amps, 5 K Drives, and 2 Necromechs. I think the Necromechs require some Forma as well to get the max rank out of, so that also kind of sucks. Just more Forma that I need to get. K Drives are probably going to be a little bit of a pain to farm. I mean, you gotta get the Vent Kids to rank 5 as well, so, you know, that's totally going to be fun. If you're talking about the longest individual thing to grind in Warframe, that would probably be the achievement where you need to drive for over 1 million meters on a K drive. That's probably going to take a while. Now, the nice thing about it is that every time you actually try to make progress on it, you're going to make progress. That's pretty much why I consider the Vandal weapon grind to be the worst grind. Every time you try to go for the Vandal weapons, you're not making progress. At least with a bunch of the other grinds, such as the Citrine grind, you're making progress. You know, you're earning the crystals needed to trade. There's kind of like a bad luck protection for it per se, whereas there basically is no bad luck protection for the Vandal weapons. So yeah, no idea how much longer this is going to take me. I feel like I'll definitely get it by the end of this year at least. I don't know, maybe 3 months? I'll see how things go, because it's not exactly a speed run. I'm just going at the pace that I want to go at. Really, I kind of got back into Warframe in 2025. It was about spring, and I never even really like intended to try to reach the max LR. I didn't see it as interesting or appealing. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of whatever. I'm just not interested in it. I don't want to do all that. So that's when I actually got back into the game. I kind of just wanted more to do, because I kind of just lost what really to do. I was like, yeah, I can do the new content, of course. I can just farm relic missions, I guess. But like, I pretty much felt good with just, which one? I guess I'll go with that. Okay. I pretty much felt good with like my current loadout at the time, which was just Mesa Prime, and I did not even care about primary or secondary or melee. I was like, yeah, all I need is my Mesa Prime. That's all I need. But I kind of got bored of it. I wanted to try out some more variety, and then I eventually decided to just farm more stuff. Try to work on the LR grind actually, and it's been enjoyable so far for the most part. Obviously, there are some stuff that's just absolute pain to get. Like, I was really worried about the invasion material grind, you know, mutagen mass, detonite injectors, that kind of stuff, as I thought that you would only be able to get it from invasions. And then I figured out there was a bounty on the Orb Valis for it, and that made made things so much easier, man. Because the rough thing about trying to grind invasions is that they're basically time gated. You can't repeat farm them over and over again for more materials. You have to wait for them to actually bestow their reward upon you. And for that 1K drive achievement, I definitely will do that someday because I'm actually close to getting all the achievements for the game. I think I'm missing 8 or 10, and really there are just some ones that I'll like naturally complete. I know there's some for more mastery ranks. I wonder if I can check on my Warframe profile on here. I probably can, right? I'll check that in a moment. But really, I've been having a lot more fun just by doing this LR grind. Actually, I've discovered a lot more frames that I enjoy playing, because it used to be just Mesa that I enjoyed playing, and that was pretty much it. But now there are many frames I enjoy playing. I like, for example, Wisp, Saren, Garuda, Korra, Protea. It's nice to have variety, and it's also nice to actually use my weapons here and there, because it was kind of a pain having to only rely on my regulators. Primary sucked at the time, secondary sucked at the time, my melee sucked at the time. I did not have any sort of good weapon builds. Regulators just had to carry me. Okay, let's see your challenges. So I had 201 out of 212 challenges. So we need to explore all Eidolon caves. That's easy. Complete all Corpus Proxima railjack nodes. Easy. All Orvelis caves. Easy. Complete all K-Drive races. I mean, that's easy too. K-driven. Ride 1 million meters on a K-Drive. I'm only at 157,000. So we've got quite a while to go for that. Ride 20 Velocipods. I'd have to check what that is, but it sounds easy. Travel over 10,000 meters on a stolen Dargon. I mean, that's simple enough. Crafter for Zal, easy. Configure a MOA companion, easy. Reach top standing with Vent Kids. I mean, it's simple, at least. Might take a little bit. Achieve the rank of True Master. Also easy enough. But yeah, in the thumbnail, I say LR5 or 6 for the max legendary rank, because only founders can get to LR6 currently. I'm not a founder, so LR5 probably close to 6 is what I can get to. I'd have to check, but regardless, LR5 is the max I can get to for now. But also another thing that's just made Warframe more fun to me starting in 2025 when I actually came back to the game, it's just that there's a lot more to do in general. Because I remember the old days where there was no Railjack, there was no Steel Path, there were no Archon shards, there was no Elite Archimedia, or just Archimedia in general. There were no Netra cells. There obviously was no Parita runs or Descendia. It's like, really, there were no weekly activities to do. Pretty much all that you would have daily wise was sorties. I was not too much of a fan of sorties. I mean, I hardly ever do them still. I probably should do them, but I just also cannot be bothered too much. Are the rewards even that great? I'd have to check again. I mean, I think the issue, quote unquote, is like the good rewards are rare anyway, but there's a lot more reason to actually hop on the game and play. I guess you could say it's somewhat FOMO, but not really. I mean, it's not that much. It's not crazy FOMO, at least, because really if you don't play for a month or two, it's like, yeah, you would miss out on some weekly stuff like Archon shards, but they're pretty easy to stock up on anyway. I mean, not even every frame that I use has Archon shards. I try to make sure the build is good without Archon shards. Archon shards are just a nice little bonus, and also it's not like they're ever going away. You can always farm it more, so there's always going to be next week, you know? It's like, worst case, you might just have to wait a while for some of the stuff to return. Like Circuit, it's like on a 8 or 9 week rotation, so that's kind of a fair bit of time, but it's not going away. And I think having weekly stuff is just, it's nice to have at the very least. It gives a reason for the more dedicated players to hop on. Now, could some stuff be better, such as, I don't know, Nightwave, being able to grind whichever Nightwave you want to, similar to how Helldivers 2 does it with War Bonds? Probably it would be nice to have that, because there are some cosmetics that I would like to have that I do not have, but at the very least, they're not gone forever. So yeah, I think that's about all I've got to talk about for now. I do have 2 more Minecraft videos planned. There's one I want to revisit a mod pack I had from 2014, and then I also want to do a video where I try to speedrun Minecraft, because I've never attempted to do that. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in whatever I do next, which is going to be one of those Minecraft videos.